that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm so honest.
And it's like, okay, you know, yeah, you've been dealing with your stuff. I've been dealing with your craft for 30 years. And now I got the opportunity to scribble on some paper and get you put away. Like, don't even think if Jada shows hints of like mental health. Hey, the same assignment.
This one? It's kind of getting tight. This one? Oh, this one.
Because there's a guy, it's like, here's the weird thing about a guy. We will go all the way out the way to keep you out the way. Most of the women that are there are pretty. And I see these dudes come up there, they'll drop off their money, they'll drop off paperwork, they'll go out their way to bring that to her, but he was leaving her instead. Why does she need to do that? We don't help her shower, we don't like her. He doesn't help her.
Monitor the conversation, but you know
we're behind the scenes, you know. That's how we get started. But yeah, you know what I mean? And like,
So what do you think it is, Chris? It's just really mental health?
I think that people just get tired. People get tired of the shenanigans. That's why you gotta be careful. And it's like this, like, it turns into like a scale. It's like, wait, so I can put him or her away, but I can still claim the status on my taxes. I can still get the tax breaks. I can still do the still, but them not here, literally. And once that person signs those papers, once certain diagnoses get put into play, and then if your kids, that's the second safety net. If these kids aren't open to accepting the responsibility, you could be kind of like caught in the shuffle.
Are most of them citizens? U.S. citizens?
Mm-hmm. This is like I don't like to taboo it as an Americanized thing, but this is like an Americanized thing, because a lot of other culture bases, they're like, no, you know, you see it every now and then. But when I mean every now, I'm talking about you got a date. It's more common in like certain where it's like 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. Like, it'd be rare to see a Nigerian there. So, in my personal opinion, I've only seen one Nigerian in my life. I've only seen one Japanese person in my life. I ain't seen a Chinese. Ethiopian, they said it was against their religion, against their culture, and that in a way. You know, Jamaican, ain't seen none of them. You know, Malaysian, no.
Do you see Hispanic?
Surprisingly, yes. Not as much, but a few. And even the ones that are there are mine. No.
Yeah.
You just need a little monitoring.
You think it also came down that maybe they signed something?
So it made perfect sense when my mom said that when we were kids. She was a nurse. I was like, oh, I see what you saw wrong. And I'm not saying it's taboo. I'm not saying it's that. In some cases it's taboo. Some.
Right.
But you could do most things, and then it's like you need a system of sub. It's like, yeah, you just need a person come in and check on you. You know, that's good. You know, that's I would suggest that. Like my grandparents both lived to be over 100.
Oh, wow.
At home.
On your mom's side or your dad's side?
My mom's side.
Uh-huh.
They're at home. It's like they were that good, and they were that like no. I'm staying here with my wife. She's staying here with me. Yeah, y'all want to come check on us, fine. But we ain't leaving this house. And that's that old school value. They're like, you know, she's not leaving me, I'm not leaving her. My grandmother passed away the day before because she said, you know what, he said he left. He said he never leave. Depression. She died the next day. And that usually, you see that, like those marriages going like that, yeah, it's usually, once one goes, it's just like, well, I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
Wait for me. You know. Hi, Pepper. You see us on the TV? We're gonna get you a camera next. You can share mine. I'll share with you. Did I show y'all that video with those cats that was like? I think I showed y'all the spa.
Oh yeah, they had like four in the bed.
I think the dude was more mad than the cat was. He was like, "You're home?" Like so shocked. Like she's like, "Really?" He's like, "Spa day." Oh my god. Tries to punk out the cats. It's like, nah, bro. This is what we do. We take baths.
Once you get a cat, you start watching all the crazy cat stuff.
Cats, like, because Tony Baker loves cats. I actually personally like them too. I'll pick a cat over a dog any day of the week, to be honest.
Really?
Cats are hilarious. I think a strong second place. I've never owned one, but I just see them on videos doing stuff. It's the chicken. Chicken is so funny. It's like the stupidest, smartest animal ever.
The chicken versus so specifically a chicken, not a rooster.
Yeah, roosters are hilarious too.
Yeah, and aggressive.
Yeah, roosters got like that swag too.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And then when they're like broken, like you figure a speech word, you know, broken, but they crock a doodle like all day. It's like clearly afternoon. That sun's been up.
All right. Be back for another one. Welcome to America's Mind, America's favorite show.
And I am Christopher Bears.
And we have Randy K.
Hey.
That's what she does. How you guys doing today? This is an interesting conversation going on.
Oh, yeah, we talk. You know. Oh wait, hold on. We got Pepper here. Pepper. Hey.
Pepper.
She's
Pepper's for the lights and the looks.
Yeah, she's does what cats do. It's like, yeah, you know, allow me to sleep, and I'm look cute when I do it.
Probably like, no, put Pepper back on screen. You have anything you want to say, Pepper?
Oh yeah, it's snap and cleaning time, huh?
All right. Words from Pepper. Pepper don't care what's going on. She's the most spoiled, carefree cat in the history of the world.
You know, I kind of agree. I see her once a week.
She sits around, like yesterday, she sat around eating sashimi, just napping. Like, what cat gets to eat sashimi? Just raw fish. That's like a cat's dream, right?
That's it. Okay, was she like purred and like meowed? Was it like different? Because like when I gave my cats one time like tuna, it was like that smell attacked their soul. It was like so different. It was like, whoa, like Y'all aggressive. Like, y'all know y'all supposed to eat that or something.
She used to be like that, where like if we don't give her like any kind of like real people food, but like if we're eating steak, you know, something that's kind of like pure, not processed, she'll get like little pieces of steak. So when she's a kitten, but when she was a younger kitten, she'll tear your hand up trying to get that. She'll claws out, your whole hand will be scratched up just so she could grab that piece of steak.
Oh my God.
Now she doesn't do that much anymore. Because she knows she's spoiled, so she just sits there and looks. And the most she'll do is go like this. Like she'll take her paw and like just.
So Pepper is working smarter, not harder. She's like, look, I got this. I just use my charm.
Yeah.
She'll sit there looking cute, and like, or she'll just like put her paw like close to it, or try and touch it. Yeah, that's her.
It's true.
Well, I think you answered the question. Well, how's everyone's week?
It was good. This week went by. It flew by.
It did.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not too much bad news for me. I didn't have any bad occurrences. Yeah, it was just busy, so it flew by.
Okay.
How about you, Rennie?
I had some sad news. It's two of my close girlfriends lost their grandmothers, and then like y'all you were mentioning earlier, Chris, some long-lasting marriages, if one spouse goes, the other one tends to follow. So she lost her grandmother, and then her grandfather went.
Oh wow! Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
Condolences to them and their families.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So funeral this upcoming Thursday, which, you know, although unfortunate, it was interesting to learn Vietnamese funeral customs and how, you know, different cultures do certain things, you know. So that'll be a first experience to witness a Vietnamese funeral.
It's so interesting just with cultures, there's so many different outlooks and views, you know, and it's like sometimes I feel like that's just such a privilege to kind of like be a part of, or just to witness it, you know, to see, you know, just to see that displayed, you know.
Right.
And it's like, wow, like I never knew, and you know, like some cultures are really like big, especially like deaths and things like that, where it's like, oh man, we have to do this, and it's like, whoa, wow, okay,
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
More good news. I mean, off of that bad news, condolences to that family. I don't want to shout out names or whatever, but I know what she's talking about. But good news. You see, we reached our subscriber goal up there. We had a July subscriber goal. We reached it a day late, but I'm accounting.
hey.
We reached it on August 1st, so I'm gonna say that still counts.
Okay, shout out to that. That's a wonderful thing. You know what? I just feel like we've been doing this for 6 months.
Yeah, about 7 months.
And it doesn't feel like it.
Nah,
Yeah.
we're just now getting into our groove. We just now getting in there.
Yeah, it
That's how I feel.
doesn't feel like it. And it's, you know what? And I think the vision that I had, you know, at least for myself, was just that I just wanted to just not have it feel like work. You know what I mean? Work is strenuous. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want that for neither one of us in this room. You know, I wanted it to be like, where it's like, oh, okay, like we're getting on. All right, cool.
Yeah.
You know, and I think this is me. I'm not trying to sound biased like that, but I think this is the most unique particular podcast because, you know, like I share with people all the time, there's no scripts here. Like we're not going over no dialogue. We're not going over anything like that. I'm like, Jamal told me from the very beginning what I can and can't say. We had that conversation. Like
I didn't tell you what you can and can't say. I've told you what YouTube said that you can and can't say.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we went over that. And then
I would say you can say whatever you want, but YouTube says no, you can't say some of that.
And you know, and my mom, she added, you know, her sense in and was like, you know, implementing the no cursing and stuff like that. So I think I've been doing well on that. But and then, you know, it's been fun, you know, and people be thinking that we're capping. I'm like, no, it's like, yeah, we might grab a couple videos in reference to go over them, but this stuff these are gifts for me. Like, I literally see them when y'all see them. It ain't like I kind of know how these two think, so I can put an idea what it is, but then sometimes I'm like, oh man, they caught me off guard with that, but hey, I was ready. So, like, hey, and I think that's what makes this growing and moving forward. I think that this is going to be a very difficult thing to emulate, because I don't think a lot of people can do that.
No.
Especially getting on live and actually sounding like you have some type of common sense.
Sometimes it probably
Not
sure sound like
nobody.
we're ranting.
Hey, it's fine.
But that's all fun too.
It's real life though. Like, you guys call me on the phone, I'm gonna sound like the same guy in this room. Maybe a little bit more cursing. And I'm trying to get off of that.
I think what Chris is trying to say, or that he said, is we don't put on for the show. This is how we really sit around talking. We do it before the show starts. That's like when you see the countdown. That's just us sitting around talking.
Yeah.
And it's basically the same as the show, except the show has like topics, and we watch things, and then we'll talk about it the same way we would regularly. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think we're unique in that way. We don't, and it's better because we don't all agree. We are.
It's funny you said, me and him was fighting all week. We didn't agree about nothing.
Well, for like 2 days.
But you know what? I was so proud of you. I wasn't gonna lie, because I was like, okay, oh, you want to beat this guy? Great, cool, let's do it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We talking about video games.
Yeah, we were
sports.
talking about video games. Like, video games can become serious.
That's what men fight about.
Like, I'm so tired
2K.
of them and arguing and fighting over whatever. You swear we be playing something scientific, but
Yeah.
it's a basketball game. But
2K are real sports. Those are like men arguments.
and I'm like I'm the most passionate. I'm the crybaby. I'm the one that whines and complains about everything.
JD is the crybaby, but you are the most passionate.
They're like, oh gosh, they getting Chris activated. And then Charmaine should just be like,
Still playing that?
well, why don't you just play something else? And I'm like, all right. And then like the next day, she'll hear me talk about 2K.
Back
She's
on
like,
2K.
oh, you're back on the game, huh? Just one day? I'm like, well, yeah, it was 24 hours.
But let me ask you this though, because some people, when they think of video games, like myself, I think of how stressful they are. So if you think of somebody that has a hobby like playing games, like I could see Charmaine saying, hey, you know what, maybe you guys, play a friendly game of checkers, So how do you guys deal with that balance of, hey, this is kind of stress, but it's also something you like to partake in? You know what I mean? Like,
It's the fellowship.
okay.
Mostly.
I feel like as an adult, me and Jamal relationship is like almost like based around the game. Like, we're two different individuals. Like, I don't mind talking on the phone. Jamal hates the phone. So the medium is like, well, he'll get on the mic on the game, and we'll have, and that's usually like our topics and ideas and cooking up be starting on the chat. I'm sure like a Microsoft was probably to peek in and just like listen to the conversation.
Hey, shut us down. If Microsoft peeped in our Xbox Live combos, we'd be shut down.
It's
they'd
like,
be delete that.
like-
Delete that group.
like wait, what did he say? What's even more interesting too is that, because see, a lot of people that don't know gamers per se, they figure that most gamers are just like losers, or they're like people that don't do anything. And there's two different type of gamers. Like, yeah, you do have that gamer that's like a leash that just sits at home and plays games all day, and then you have the gamers that use that as kind of like a winding down tool. because like the people like in our chat, everyone is successful.
I use it 90% of the time just to click up with my people.
Yeah, like
because if I don't see them on, I probably won't even get on. But if I see, oh, you know, Chris is on, my brother is on, then I'll probably be like, turn that, you know, just be like. But I rarely get on there to be by myself.
Be like 15, like heck of dudes in there, man. Like I'm like, oh man, they on too. Like, hurry up and get in there, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, like yeah, there's like two different types. Like women out there listening, get you a gamer guy.
Yeah.
We want to be in the house. We don't want to be out there in the streets running around. Let him play the game a little bit. You'll be the happiest woman, I think. Possibly. Because what's a woman's number one fear? That her man is not in the house and he's always trying to find a way to get out the house. Like going to get gas and he's gone for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? And he ran into the store to get a bag of chips and he's gone for an hour and a half. You know what I mean? Like, and it's always something that happened. But
yeah, you could have a guy that like hanging out at bars or pool halls or something, and then
that, you know, that's true. We want to be in the house. We trying to play the game.
I think mostly it's about fellowship and then competition. Like it satisfies that competitive nerve that I guess a lot of guys have.
Yeah.
Whether like all dudes do something competitively. Either they actually play ball, they get together with their friends and play spades. Everybody does something.
Poker nights, yeah.
To win, yeah, poker nights. Every dude does something to win that they want to be like, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what fuels us, you know. And you kind of want that, you know what I mean? And women have it too in a very unique kind of way. Kind of.
Depending on the woman. What are you thinking, Chris?
Well, don't just, you know, it varies.
All right.
Because I know that really quick it can turn into jealousy. You know what I mean? When it's like when it's like a woman kind of doing her thing, and you know, then it's like, oh, she thinks she all that because she got that little promotion. Like, I heard. It's like
that's so real.
It's like, girl, I already know. Here she comes. We'll talk later. What's up, girl?
I feel like women friendship is so fickle.
It
like,
is.
It's so
women
flimsy.
on women crime is like fierce.
My wife has really good friends, and I be looking at them like, y'all weird. Like women don't usually be like that. They solid with each other.
It's like
yeah, we're solid.
It's rare, but I think it's only like 1 or 2.
I think she got maybe 2.
She's good if she has 2.
No, my little squad's solid.
Her whole squad is solid, but I think you only stick to 2, like for the majority of the time. But everybody comes with them, you know.
Yeah.
Like women have this weird, what's the word I'm looking for? Like brackets of like who's like a role. Like, you know, like you got like best friend, then you got bestie, then you got homegirl,
BFF,
and then that's just old girl from work, and then bestie is like, you sure? Like, you know what I mean? Like just homegirl from work. Like seem like she's trying to bump in somebody. Like women have that weird competition.
We all need to be.
So we gotta get some women that up here then that have that, like,
yeah,
because like my kid's mom, her friendships aren't like that, but then I always would ask her just hypothetically, like, oh, like in a situation, who would you call on first? You know, because like she'll have some friends that are kind of similar, like kind of like ride or die chicks. I'm like, well, which one you really calling? Like, you can't pick them both. Like, which one are you gonna really like call? Like, stuff get thick. Is it her or is it this one? Like, you know what I'm saying? And she'll be like, maybe this one, and then the other one be like, oh really?
But even then, it was a maybe, huh?
Like a guy, we got it easy. We like, yeah, this guy, easy.
Depending upon the situation, right?
Because like guy friends, we have some that we can flex. Like Jamal's a flex friend. I can bring him into some silliness, or I can bring him into some like actual serious stuff too. He's a flex friend, but I do have some friends that are like one-sided, so I can't do that. You know.
I feel like all my friends are flex friends. I like having those people around.
Yeah. Like some women will just have like she's only good for this one thing.
Yeah, okay, I've seen that.
Like if she wants to have a good night on the town, it's like, oh, let me call up Charlie. Like she always got something going on.
Right.
And then she's not lying. You call her up like, oh my God, girl, as a matter of fact, you know, we got this going on in like 2 hours. Like, oh my God, remember Chad? Like, yeah. Yeah, he still talk to you? Like, yeah, he's doing this big thing and instant. You know, instant fun.
I think I just diversified my flex friends. Like Chris can flex about certain things. Then I have my brother. He flex about completely different things. Then I'm trying Kev. Kev is one of Chris's friends that I'm trying to bring into my friend circle. We know we almost friends. We like this right there. We like you know, so he can flex about those other things. Then I feel like I like having a diverse field of let me call Chris for nursing stuff. Let me call Karen for this stuff. Let me call my brother for this stuff. They could all do. I don't want two people that's Chris. I don't want two nurses.
You know what's crazy? Like with Dan, like Dan, and we're like he's close in our age, but it's like Dan has like this weird wisdom. Not weird, but like that. But like he has it. Like Dan could like hit me with a curveball.
He does have like an old man wisdom type of thing, huh? Yeah. And he's just like a few years older than us.
Yeah, Dan knows how to like, cause like I'm usually the one that's irate, and like Dan will just lay low, then he'll just kick me like with like a text in the chat, like, all right, Chris, like, stop crying, let's go. And I'd be like, I ain't crying. Damn, I am. Damn. All right.
The wise one in the group.
Sign on.
I got a topic that I want mostly Chris's opinion about, but Randy too. You guys remember American Pie?
Yes.
So it was a character that got really popular on there early 2000s, late 90s. Remember Stifler's mom? That's where like MILF came from.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Like the term MILF came from Stifler's mom. The dude, the high school student, he ended up smashing Stifler's mom.
The nerd, they ended up smashing the mom like on some accidental.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. So she, I guess this is 20 years later, and she's talking about her time on that movie.
And
she
now
has some
tonight's Star Confessions. Jennifer Coolidge is opening up to Variety about the.
Let me see. Do I have it? Maybe it or something. I don't hear it. That's
role
what I'm asking.
She's most recognized for Legally Blonde and
probably Paulette. You know, and also.
What was your question?
You hear it?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, my bad.
So it's just me.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I can hear it. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's just me. I already know. I just play it. I'll figure it out while I play.
American Pie, so it's kind of a 50-50 thing.
And she says there were a lot of benefits for playing Stifler's mom.
I got a lot of play of being a MILF, and I got a lot of sexual action from American Pie. Just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just talking about there were so many benefits to doing that movie. I mean, there were about like 200 people that I would have never had slept with.
But there are specific lines the star is sick of hearing, like,
makes me want a hot dog real bad.
You look like the 4th of July. It makes me want a hot dog real bad.
All day long and all night. Yeah, just so many people like say it on the plane. Exhausting, this hot dog story.
Of course, these days she's also getting tons of attention for her Emmy-nominated role.
I have to say, you know, I was in Europe And everyone kept coming over to me saying, I loved White Lotus. So I guess White Lotus really made it around the world. I'm 100% sure people are going to like White Lotus
I'm
too.
really shocked.
I don't know why.
Stuff
I'm
she
just
said.
100% sure.
Lisa Kudrow is opening up about her body image issues while shooting Friends. While on the podcast, she revealed that her insecurities stemmed from poor-fitting outfits.
It wasn't until Friends that I realized, oh, I don't look like I thought I looked. It was just seeing myself on the show and seeing myself in clothes and seeing Courtney and Jennifer in clothes. And at first I thought, oh, because they know like tailoring, so they can discuss it with the costume designer. I just had no idea the shape of my actual body.
Yeah, so how do you guys feel about that situation right there?
That's funny. So she said that I don't think that she probably slept with 200 people like that.
I think she's exaggerating.
Well, I won't knock the number like that. I'm like, she'd be really comfortable with herself to say that, you know what I mean? But basically, she was just like, man, she just got so much action. You know, that was kind of like a Stella got her groove back moment for her. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, you about that life? And it was just like, okay, let's do it. She seemed happy about it.
Yeah.
You think she got paid in, maybe paid in some of those circumstances?
Are you asking if she was prostituting?
I'm like, I don't know.
Or
but I think it was a good. I think it benefited her.
Yeah.
Like most actors and actresses have like that one or two movies that kind of like sticks with them, and it's like kind of like sticks with them for like their whole career. Like when I think about Danny Glover, I always think about Color Purple.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm like, oh dang, wait, he was part of Lethal Weapon too. It's like, but then when I think about Lethal Weapon, I think about Mel Gibson. You know what I'm saying? Like I be forgetting that Danny's in it. You know what I'm saying? You know, and like some movies just stick with them, you know, forever.
Right.
You know, and wow, I just would. I guess it's hard out here for women, huh? Like I'm just trying to think, like you're an actress, you have money, but I guess you just wasn't getting the DM slid in like that.
I don't know, like she wasn't exactly young when she did that movie, so maybe it kind of like she was like when she was younger, she was a bigger heartthrob or whatever. Or heartthrobs are dudes. What do they call the women that are? You know, she was a better sex symbol when she was younger, and that movie kind of like brought her back.
Kind of like maybe Peggy on like Married with Children, kind of like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
I think even if they would have picked her to do that, I think that could have probably, you know, maybe she was picked like that on purpose, like in a sense. You know what I mean? Like Peggy, like you were that head turner. You still have it a little bit. You know what I mean? And we'll just.
But man, Peggy, shout out to her, man. Her career, she was meant to be a wife, though, to Al Bundy. She wanted to uphold being a wife, although your husband says some stuff to you every once in a while. You know, because then she had a great career in Sons of Anarchy, and even that, and, you know, she was older than that, so. Yeah, I could see, you know. Again, ladies, the choices you make within your career.
But it's, you know what?
On the other end of it, though, you don't think that's a little 304-ish?
I might.
Or is it different because it was like she's a celebrity figure?
It's a little. How 304s are labeled, in my opinion, they're labeled because they're doing the acts and they deny it. You know what I mean? Like they deny what they're doing. And so it is like, well, okay, since you're not keeping it real, we're going to put that on you because we know you're doing it. You're just going to be in your own little world with that. I think being open to it, I think it's still there. It's just not put with emphasis. it's like it kind of puts like a flex of like, well, it turns into like, oh, she just likes to have
200 bodies is a lot, yeah, to me. Especially like at that age. She had to be like in her 40s around then, maybe even a little older. I don't know how old she is right now, but it seems like that's a little too.
Well, you know what? That's kind of like some women peak at that age too. You know, mid 30s and 40s.
Don't they say women peak
cetera.
sexually?
Yeah.
At a older age.
Yeah, men we peak from like 18 to 25, 26, 27 ish, and then women.
I disagree.
Pick up.
Wait, let me get in my mic and say.
Don't be coming in here disagreeing on too much.
Oh, come on.
then-
Men are way more attractive as they age. Let's stop playing.
No. We're talking about. I was talking about like sexual libido.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, either way.
Is that what you were talking about?
I was. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I do agree though.
right?
As some men, if some men are on a good regimen, as they get older, yeah, they tend to, you know. But women too, though. Like I'll take a seasoned woman any day of the week over like a glamour girl. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, well, once I apply some water to you and if I wake up with you the next morning, how you gonna look then? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, cause there's a lot of special effects that's like put into this. You know, they don't. A lot of women. And I don't mean to bash. I'm not bashing, but a lot of women are not natural. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, like they don't. You know, I grew up in that era where it was like I raved over chicks putting on some Victoria's Secret lip gloss. You know what I'm saying? And it was like. You know, she glossed her lips. She might have did a little eyelash thing, and it was like, "Oh, girl, you the hottest thing under the sun right now to me." You know, because it's just different. But now,
I think I'm thinking of it in the sense where like there aren't any. Well, like when I hear her say something like that, it just like makes me think that there aren't any like Claire Huxtables anymore. Like you know,
yeah,
like that kind of. That's who used to be the mom.
yeah.
Like those kind of women.
And I didn't.
And it seems like they just. I don't know.
I didn't
it
realize
just shows
how gorgeous she was until I became like a
who Felicia Rashad?
Yeah, no, I did. It was there. You know what I mean? But I was younger, so I was always looking at Denise.
I was on somebody's show ranting about Felicia
I was always
Rashad.
looking at Denise and Hillary. You know,
Right, because she was the mom. Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
But when you get older, you like, hold up,
about
the
40,
mom kind of, the mom kind of killing them.
like snatch off the street, girl. Don't you be outside walking by yourself. I'm gonna have a net and the scooper, the snatch and scoop at the same time off them streets with me.
Yeah,
Like,
Felicia
for-
Rashad, one of the goats. I always say
Yeah,
that.
for real. But yeah, when I was younger, it was Hillary and Denise.
Denise?
Denise was the older girl.
That's
oldest.
Lisa Bonet.
That was the one that was. I don't know her name.
It was Denise and I don't remember the other one's name.
Oh gosh.
All right, so Rudy was the youngest one.
Yeah, she's the baby.
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Was in
Okay,
the middle.
yeah.
All right, so yeah, I agree. No, wait, Denise. They had 4 girls. One of them had moved out though.
That was Denise.
I thought Denise was the youngest one that ended up going to college, or the oldest one. She was the oldest one in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had one that Sandra. They had Sandra.
Oh,
Remember?
that's right. Yeah. So Denise wasn't the oldest.
Sandra
yeah.
had left, and she was married to the
Yeah,
goofball
that's
dude.
the lawyer,
that they
right?
Yeah.
Was she the lawyer? Yeah.
I don't know if she was a. I don't
She was
remember.
something like that, but she was always in business attire.
But she came around sometimes. But she didn't live in the house. But her and her husband would come over.
You're right. Wow. Like. Like, and people gonna be destroying us in the comments. Like, I don't even know Cosby. Look at that.
We probably ain't even supposed to be talking
about.
about that show on YouTube. I don't even know. I don't know the
They
rules.
don't even know
Can
they don't
you
even know
talk
the
about the
lineup.
comedy?
Look at them terrible, horrible guys. Like, look, I listened to it, but I watched it, but I don't know it to the T like that. But yeah,
I just remember. I don't know. Based on memory. Yeah, but Denise, I think Denise was everybody.
Denise
was
was
on
the
her.
one that went to college. Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody was on Denise.
And now tonight's Star Confessions.
Everybody
Jennifer
thought
Coolidge is
Denise.
opening
Okay,
up a
something's
variety
playing
about the
in my
roles
ear
she's
now.
most
Yeah,
recognized for. Legally.
But 200 bodies though,
And now
yeah, I
tonight's
see what
Star
you.
Confessions.
Going back to
Jennifer
the
Coolidge is opening up the
topic.
variety about the roles she's most
Okay,
recognized
we're
for.
just gonna
Legally
make this
Blonde
simple.
and
Probably pop.
Is it good or bad?
It's bad.
Randy?
200 bodies? Yeah, it's absolutely bad. Because you have to think, like, you can't tell me. I mean, you have to play a numbers game like with anything else, right? Like, okay, was 200 bodies really worth it? And what percentage of it was really worth your while? Like, come on. Why? I don't know. I mean, I love ladies. I'm all about, women even sticking together through differences, but at some point, why would you give your precious body that easy to 200?
I agree.
It just speaks to the culture, though. Like, we live in this culture where you're not supposed to slut shame, and I'm like, no, I feel like sluts are shameful, so I'm gonna keep doing it, even though, like everybody else is trying to adapt. Like, no, it's all right to be. I'm like, no, it's not.
I don't think there's a way to shame it though, but if anything, it's just to ask questions like, okay, well, what made you get to that 200, right? I think you learn more about the girl herself as to why,
Well, I think maybe she just was probably just looking for fun.
Yeah.
And I think that can be dangerous, kind of too.
Yeah.
Or like the word that I hear sometimes. Oh, I'm about to do me. And I'm not even gonna sit around and lie. When I was younger, and I used to hear a woman say that, I'm about to just do me. I'm like, oh my god.
You already knew that was
It's like,
started the whole phase.
This is guaranteed fun and recklessness, and I'm kind of with that. And it's for a limited time only, because once her mind clicks back on, she's gonna cut everything off.
Yeah, I think there's an aspect of men that like the sexually free women because they get to dive into it, right?
Yeah, but they'll never marry him. They'll never marry him.
So like, I think men in general will be like, "Oh yeah, that's cool, girl. Be sexually free, experiment, do your thing." But
because we know that that's for a limited time only. Once she clicks on again and go back to her husband, back to wherever she was doing, she's gonna cut everything off, and she might even come to you like, "Hey, we didn't do nothing." Like nothing. And in our head, we could be like, girl, we did like a lot of stuff. we did nothing. You better not say anything. You'll never get it again. Like that, or like a woman dangle that on for him. And we won't. We won't say nothing. We'll play along with the role. Like, okay. I ain't saying nothing.
all right, so
Right? He's just like, oh no.
I can't deal
Oh,
with messiness, man.
jeez.
I can't deal with messiness.
Is there any comments? We have any comments?
I'm not in the. Oh, let me see.
Oh,
No, nothing to bring up.
nothing to bring up right now.
Let me see, what is the next
And
one
now
here?
tonight's Star Confessions.
Let me
This
tell you
one.
this. There is no such thing as a
I'm
perfect time
upset
to
that I
get.
can't hear what's going on, and I don't know why. Now, you guys feel some time for me while I figured it. Nah, don't do that. Wait, hold on.
I hate when I get on YouTube and it's just like always asking me, like,
Like I said, asking what I'm getting annoyed with is every time, something comes up on my phone and it has a little drop down at the top. And it's like, no, I didn't mean to click on YouTube. But thank you for letting me know so and so that I follow is online.
Pepper wants attention.
Why, Pepper? Oh, yeah, I should give her some dinner.
It's Pepper time. Oh, there goes Chris.
yeah, I'm putting some chats up and stuff like that. Shout out to the people in the chat, stuff like that. Were you trying to play that second story about the girl with friends?
But they're not coming through my microphone, so I'm like I'm trying to mentally figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Mary.
It's this one, right?
Because
it's playing now in my
you
ear.
are and frankly should always be in a constant state of building. You should always be in a state of transition, always be in a state of change, growth, and learning. If you feel like, let me get myself together, then I'll get married, it's never going to happen. Frankly, it shouldn't happen. Typically, by the time people feel like, now I'm ready, they're in a state of decline. So I would say, don't let that be the hindrance. Don't let that be the hindrance.
You gotta be scared.
You want to build with somebody. You want to learn. Here's the thing. Marriage is the process of two becoming one. What that means is if you think you got it all figured out, your spouse is going to work some stuff out of you that you thought you figured out.
Right.
So you need to be ready to accept that. Don't go into the marriage thinking, this is who I am, take it or leave it. This is who I am today.
Right.
But I am willing to build with you.
I disagree on that.
I'm there.
Okay.
I'm there.
Kinda.
I know.
But all these people
We talked about this before, I think. Who put this in the chat to share? Was it Randy? Or was it because we've been talking about it over for the last couple of weeks or so?
So okay. So you agree? You could go first.
I mostly agree with her that having yourself together or whatever doesn't necessarily. I mean, financially anyway, it's not necessary in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It's I mostly agree with her that two people can get married and build themselves together.
Yeah,
me and you would go back and forth that you would say the man who hasn't built himself yet, you have what's your Chris terminology for it? It's a broken man.
Yeah, he's broken.
Yeah.
And then I go into because in my
if y'all don't know Chris terms, when he says it's a broken man, he means that the man's still building on himself. He's not all the way whole yet. So he thinks if you are still building, then you're not necessarily fixed. You're not whole, and he would recommend that women stay clear.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, that's so like because okay, I actually need to finish that book. I had this book with many chapters, and one of the chapters that I wrote was two builders, and so basically what I said in there was that two builders can't build. Someone has to have a foundation. Cause see, I'm taking the word build literally. Mm-hmm. So it's like if we go into this house, building a house, but we ain't gonna get nothing done. Like somebody has to have a framework. Then we can start building. So so for me, it gotta be a snibbling, and this is where I have to put the man in that position to be in that position first. Because he's leading. You know what I mean? He's designed to lead, and she's going to be looking for him to lead. So if he's like still trying to, and then yes, the terminology I like to use, a broken man, I'm like, well, he can't lead you anywhere yet. He doesn't even know how he's to put together yet.
All right.
Because some pieces might get lost in a jigsaw puzzle. Then what? You got a different outlook now. But now you drug this woman along, and she's like, I thought we were going to Paris. And we didn't make it to Paris. Now she's pissed off, in a sense. I think in this particular thing that women have to just be patient but calculated.
All right.
Because when a man starts to build, and if he feels like he's getting close to accomplishing that, he wants the woman. He doesn't need her, he wants her. And see, I think women put themselves in that category to be needed. And I think that's where things become a little weird. He need me around him. He need me for him to make him a man. He needs me to do this. Not for success.
Right.
And that's why I even flipped it. If a man tells you as a woman, I need you around so I can be successful, you lost. That's something you shouldn't have to be. That should be in them.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Chris.
And now
I would agree. All right, so this is where I agree with Chris.
Coolidge is opening up to Variety about the roles she's most
I
recognized for.
agree with Chris in the scenario that if you have to pick one person to build first and then start the marriage, then it would be the man.
Yeah.
If that's the scenario, right?
Yeah.
But What I'm saying is I don't think that scenario is necessary. And because in that scenario, if the man is going to be the one building first, he's not going to be ready until
our age.
Yeah. All right, so where does that leave women for him? That means they better be ready when they're in their 20s so the men our age can go get them. And the women our age better have already been picked when they were in their 20s.
I see the angle. No,
Yeah.
I agree with that, but it's a risk. It's more of a risk for the woman.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's more of a risk for the man who doesn't. All right, say society is right now is like snap fingers. Everybody's gonna follow this rule. The men who don't build themselves up to some arbitrary number don't get to go and pick young women to marry. So all the women who are, you know, who look a certain way are going to get picked. All the women who have like certain amount of wifey qualities are going to get picked super fast. And then there's going to be women and men that just go off to the wayside.
Yeah. And I'm like, unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, but I don't feel like reality is like that. That's like if you want to build utopian society, then you could do that. In real life, you're gonna have two people, right? Mm-hmm. You don't know where they're gonna end up. Mm-hmm. You can tell every man to build, and like I said, it's arbitrary numbers. So your build finish line might be different from my build finish line. Mm-hmm. Like my build finish line is about $250,000. Mm-hmm. So if I wait until I make $250,000 and then go back and pick a 22-year-old, cool, great. But what happens to everybody else?
Like between. Well, see, that's where. But when I remember earlier in the show when I talked about make sure that you're not stepping stone. So like you have to like know where you stand as a woman and as a man. Like, you know where you stand. Like for real. Don't guess.
Yeah, but we already eliminated that because she's talking about in a marriage. Okay. So if a man is entered into a marriage with you, then it's most likely that he's not using you for a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right. So what I think is, I don't think men need women to build, but I think it makes it a lot easier for men to build when they have wives. It takes, not only does it take the extra shit off the table, and I mean the extra shit is other women. Not only does it take other women off the table, so you have to focus on building this, thing that you have, but it focuses two people on a similar goal.
Absolutely.
But
remember the question I asked like a few months ago.
Yes.
Does a man go to war first, then get married, or does he get married first and go to war?
He gets married. I always say the same thing. He gets married and goes to war.
Ideally, I don't think it's a wrong answer. I just think that how I look at it is just prioritization.
I feel like it's always the dudes in the trenches. When shit gets heavy, they reach in their jacket and they pull out their picture of their wife or the letter that they wrote before they went there.
Well, usually they die though.
That's what I meant.
Mary dies usually.
No, but they all
wasn't focused.
No, it's not that the one that married dies. I think just the one that's dying is married. They're all married, right? Except you don't take your wife's picture in your last letter out unless it's a wrap for you to give to the next person and be like, make sure my wife gets this. So their whole purpose, I think you have to have a reason to war.
I agree with that.
If like your reason can't be like financial gain, success, that's not why men war.
Yeah. Well, I think what and I just speak from my personal experience. Like, I think a man starts to seek a woman when a man's doing what he's doing. We're trying to settle, but we're trying to have.
You mean settle down?
Like, well, not like just in that format, but just have a settled mindset. Like let's go into with Thanos, right? He's doing all of this work, and then it was like at the end of it, it was like, I just want to enjoy the sunset,
right,
and drink some lemonade, and it's like, wait, you out here doing all this, then at the end, you just want to just be at a peaceful mind state. And I think that's where men want to be at when we're working. And I think once he gets into that seeing a peaceful mindset, that's when let me seek this woman that I want now through all of this or after all of this. You know, like we're in our
Yeah, but that's not real. You're saying like you're saying like when the job is done, find a woman.
Or once the job is like once the job is like complete, like in a sense.
When it's done.
Well, I'm just saying. Well,
but that's not what happens. Like, all right, you're gonna become an RN one day.
He keeps putting this out here on me.
So
I feel like I'm done now.
Once you get there, like, are you done? Like, say you get there at 45, so you done until you 65. You could just sit and chill and be peaceful. Or do you have to work that job for 20 years?
Well, no. Of course, we're designed to work. So work is always there. It's just that once we set things up, what type of work are we having? You know what I mean? Like if I have this job that's a construction and I'm in charge of digging ditches and moving these boulders, but I want to be the truck driver one day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, once I become the truck driver, I'm still working. I still got to show up. But I'm like, hey, I'm not busting my you-know-what. I'm more at a settled space now. And now I'm ready to branch off of that.
All right, so you become an RN. What kind of woman do you want there? Or are you already past the point where you say, okay, now I can have one?
Yeah.
All right, so you passed that point. It's the point that you're at now, what you're doing now. You felt like you built enough. All right, so you built enough now. What kind do you want?
I just want a woman that's not going to stress me out.
So how do you know, like...
Well, no, I get... No,
see? I know
what you mean. I get what you're saying. So, in that midst of building myself, yeah, I do have to have an eye on a prize. And she has to be there with me too. But I think that is really... All
right, see, now I'm like you backwards. So now you want a wife that you got on hold instead of a wife that you got while you did the same exact thing. It just doesn't make sense. Like, why wouldn't you pick a wife who chose you as her leader, who listened to like what you said you were gonna do, and like, okay, we'll do that then. We'll try that. Like, all right, Chris is gonna do blah blah blah. He's gonna get this. He's gonna become that. And she stuck by you, held onto your pocket or however they say. And now you get there, and it was just according to plan. There's no adjustment needed.
Well, failure.
I think what you're doing, failure is.
I know, but some people can't handle that. That's for me. That's my answer.
That's the problem. You can't tell a woman that she gets a guarantee. You just can't. It's not possible. Even if she marries a surgeon, you can't tell her she gets a guarantee.
You could set certain things in place, though, I think, to be guaranteed.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can. That's why people mostly divorce because of what? Finances?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Because there's no guarantees. Because people divorce most of the time because of finances doesn't mean they were broke. It means maybe they started rich and then got broke. Right, and that's they get divorced. That counts under finances too, right?
So I'm looking at it as, okay, so for the surgeon that's bringing in all this money, or if the couple starts out with all this money, it's about being smart with your money from the jump, so that then if it does fall or a failure does come, you still have a cushion to rely on because you were moving as one, as the video was saying. You were moving as one within your marriage to be responsible, to plan, so that, eventually when life may slap you in the face, you still have some kind of a cushion there.
A parachute.
Whatever metaphor you want to use.
I think that's really ideal. I think like you're saying no, like you're saying there's a level of high you can get to where there's no way down. And I don't think so. Well, I think that's like a cartoon.
I'm like, in your way, it could work. Because I'm really thinking about it. It could work. It's not a bad thing. I think what a woman has to do to guarantee something is to keep her stocks high. Like that's the only thing how I can see it working. Like you're rolling with this guy because your stocks are going to be high regardless. The more you have children, your stocks are going to plummet, especially if you start having children and you're not married. You know what I mean? So your stocks are going to plummet. So it's like, I feel like, yeah, if she's rolling with this guy, like, okay, it's not a guarantee here, but I see where this could be. So I got two options. And I think that what happens, and this is why that's why I came up with my philosophy, like, he needs to be more complete because other obstacles could come into play and then it could sabotage. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted to say like, okay, I wanted to be practitioner and I'm looking at, okay, a 6-year layout. And of course I have downtime. Of course I have this friend. I see the potential, but then halfway through it's like, oops, pregnant. Now my whole plan is tarnished.
This is Randy's situation. Like it's fairy tale. It's Doctor Strange, right? Best surgeon in the world. Gets in a car accident. His hands break. He can't do surgery anymore. But don't worry about it. He's going to become Sorcerer Supreme. He's going to become an Avenger. Everything's going to be taken care of. He had the plan to fall back into place, and everything's going to work out. Now he's a sorcerer, and he can just fight Thanos. But sometimes, look, in real life, you're Doctor Strange. You get in a car accident, your hands are broken, they're damaged. You can't do surgery anymore, and you're finished. It's a wrap. You got to figure out something else to do, and it's not going to be the top surgeon in the world anymore. And you're not going to become Sorcerer Supreme. You might have to, I don't know, become a nurse. You might have to drop down to RN.
It's a lot of a lot of things can happen, and that's life. Things do happen.
Yeah, you can't even guarantee you're going to be here tomorrow. So I don't know how you can guarantee everything working out. It just doesn't work out that way.
I get you. Like, I just say, in that way, I think it's just more angles of not it happening versus it happening where I say that the guy not only has a vision, has things in play. Now, he may not be, the puzzle may not be complete, but he got 5 more pieces. He's more, like, this dude just got 5. Even if he gets 3, I think I can still work with this. You know what I'm saying? Versus a guy that has, I need 20 pieces.
I feel like this is another Avenger reference. We talking about Infinity Stones?
You
got 3 out of 6?
Well, no, I'm just saying, because I use the word broken, so I'm just using like pieces.
Okay. Oh, so he's putting himself back together. Yeah, he's putting these pieces
together. So I think, but even still, like, I think that would be a foundation to me. If a guy has 5 pieces versus a guy that needs 20.
I think there are dudes like that who wait their whole life to build to a certain level and then go get, but they go get something really specific. And I doubt, like, or from what I see anyway, they don't get it in the country. Like they go get something. They don't want any of the.
This is a very good topic because it can branch out in a lot of different ways. I think when people are trying to work together, I just think personally that it's more disaster because along the journey things are coming up.
Yeah,
and
no, I agree with that. People are not ready
because when you put a man and woman together, it's happened. They just start, pop up.
People today aren't ready for what the struggle of marriage is, right?
I agree with that.
So especially women. Women want, for the large majority, they want the like we said, the built guy already. So 90% of women want the built guy, but they not the women that the built guy want. They might look like them. I was listening to Trina the rapper. I was listening to her. She was on Drink Champs. with Nori, and she was saying a similar thing. Like, there all these women on Instagram, it's like filters. They look great, but then like when they get a boyfriend, they calling her, asking her how to stuff a turkey for Thanksgiving. Like, they not the real wives. Like, so our culture is like mixed up. Women don't. They're like rarely wives anymore, but then they still want the guarantee, but they can't like necessarily fulfill the guarantee. Yeah, like when the guy can guarantee you something, he's not looking for that. He's looking specifically for this woman who could do that. She know how to fold clothes into a triangle. She know how to cook the X, Y, and Z. She got a whole book of recipes. You took her out on a date. She did all her wife shit for you. Like, they want the whole presentation right now. They want to deal with any side stuff. So that's not realistic for most men either. Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't say like, hey, most men, you're gonna get that kind of wife. So in general, two people are gonna have to deal with each other. Because like I could wait. Anybody could wait and say, until I felt built, and then I'm gonna get what I could pay for on my level of build. Then there's going to be people above that, and there's going to be people below that. The people below that wants everything above.
Of course.
The people above that want a small percentage of things. So I don't think you can have this mentality where you teach men or women that certain things are guaranteed at certain levels, and then you can get what you want. Especially for women, because they have a time clock. Like, they're ticking right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. It's I will just still say for the women to be more careful because of that time clock, yes, and because a guy can kind of reinvent himself, and if he does it on a financial level, it's like he could be 60, and then it's like if he cracks open that 10% of income, then yes, he just got the key to look at 20, 30, 40.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, I agree with you in a sense of utopia. In a perfect world, when a woman's 22, she would have wifely skills out of this world, and she would be attractive to all 40-year-olds, and that would be a perfect world. She would be attracted to all 40-year-olds who had built it by now. But in real life, women don't know how to do household duties. They also are part of the workforce, so they're doing like workforce things. They're competing with men at work. Like, the world's just kind of zigzaggy right now. It's not
traditious.
It's not traditional. So I don't know how you take untraditional people and be like, this is how it has to be traditional.
So how do we get tradition back?
Everybody's
we need to make that a subject matter one day. Like,
the men and the women are gonna fail at that.
Okay, in that case, then I agree. I agree with you saying, because when I wrote that, it was on a tradition standpoint. So yeah, you hit it right on the head. And we're definitely not nowhere near that. So no, I do agree now with what you're saying, that because that's like foreign language. How could this person do that if they never been exposed to it or don't even know?
If you ask a woman what a wife is nowadays, they'll argue with you about it. And that says everything. Like, listen to that shit. That is an oxymoron.
I want some women in the chat to answer that question. What is a wife?
They'll argue with you about it, and that they it's automatically like, oh, it's not you then, because I asked you something, and okay, I'll say what it is. I'll say it's this, and you say it's that, and you'll be like, no, okay.
I'll put that in the chat. It's a wife.
Like, okay,
I can't ask your wife. She's a wife already. Sorry,
well,
Randy.
no, I can answer it.
Okay.
A wife should be, yes, I agree. When, Chris, you say peace, I think of a wife as, yes, your source of comfort. Granted, she's not going to be your only source of comfort, but there's a beauty in women carrying out to be her husband's source of comfort. Also doing her best to stay 10 steps ahead of his needs and wants. Granted, she may, again, nobody's perfect, but a woman that does her damnedest every day to ensure your needs and wants are fulfilled, to ensure the majority of the time she's your source of comfort, to do research on, let's say you're in a new business opportunity, you're studying something else, she makes that effort to look into resources to also help you or to help the marriage. I mean, a helpmate through and through. And Chris, you're very spot on when you say that women need to be mindful of who they choose, because there are women out here who want to do the best that they can to help, but unless somebody wants the help for themselves, like, nothing's going to change. So that's all I got to say.
Okay. I mean, you said some really beautiful points there that
I agree with most
I
of
agree.
that.
You know, that I'm like just trying to like decipher in my head, like, do I even see glimpses of that now? You know, but
No,
well, I do. But
every woman is gonna say that's her, and it's not none of them. Well, I won't say none of them. There are wives, obviously, but it's the majority. 99% no. Like, so that's why I said, like, you're gonna have women that are left behind. You're gonna have them asking for this thing, and then they're gonna, like, most of them can't match that description.
Or, yeah, Jamal, you're right, because in a sense, let's say she gets into a relationship and she says, hey, my wedding needs to be a budget of at least $20,000. So sometimes even just something so simple as material things can
just
just really get in the way
of
something great that can be built. So
I agree.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Like, that's why I was just saying, like, you know, I know a lot of my friends that are females, they be thinking I be bashing. I'm like, no, I'm not bashing y'all. Like if y'all was to obtain this and really look between the lines of it, like I'm promoting, like, you know, like, to avoid the silliness, you know, if you can.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we at a certain age, and so probably the women that you know or that are close to are probably around your same age.
Yeah.
And so the stuff that you telling them, they 20 years late hearing
And what's so crazy, not to cut you off, is that I see 20 years, 25 years younger, and they already tarnished. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, 2 generations under me is already damaged.
Misguided, for sure.
Like, I know women that are like 23, 24 with like 2 or 3 kids and 3 baby daddies. It's like, damn, girl, you're not even mid-20s. You got 6 personalities you're dealing with. And then this guy that brings home a 6-figure income, that's knight in shining armor. He's supposed to deal with you and the 6 things, like what Kanye said. I gotta take all they bad, you know, the showbiz, like, you know what I mean, like that's what we have to do, or that's what they have to do. And it's like, wow, like, how did it get to that point?
I think it's like fairy tale stuff, because like I think wives are wives before they become wives, and that's why they got picked by the dude that they wanted in the first place.
Well, the mom shows them that the mom
it used to be
the wife.
Yeah, the mother and the grandmother bring the woman up a certain way, and they just learn cooking in the kitchen, folding clothes, washing whatever, scrubbing walls. They already know these things, right? And so the man is like, oh, that's a wife right there. Picks her. Women don't, they're not wives, and then they think they want the guarantee thing, and then when they get it, it's gonna be like, I'm a wife now. Now I know how to do these things. Like, no.
But then I feel like, too, on the flip side, that some of them get it, because men, too. Men say they want a good woman, and they get the good woman, and they
yeah, in the
destroy
streets or
that.
whatever. Yeah.
You know, and it's like, wait a minute. Like, how many good women are you supposed to get in a lifetime, bro? Like, you know what I mean? You working on the fourth one.
Men and women, you're supposed to get one and stick with it. It's just, I think, like you say, like, people are focused on finance and I would say, and you might disagree on the second part, they're not focused on duty. And so it kind of...
You know, that duty word. You know, I heard about that all week.
I always feel like the vows of marriage are on my side. Because the vows of marriage say rich or poor.
Yeah.
So y'all arguing against the vows. You arguing against the vows. So what does that mean?
It's not even arguing against the vow. Okay, so here's the scenario for richer or poorer, right? So if women are supposed to fall under duty, and if according to you that's...
Men and women.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, from a woman's perspective, though, if she's supposed to follow her duty and follow the leadership of a man who, let's say, is the breadwinner, and, well, let's say they're both earning money.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that's kind of what this lady was saying. I don't think it would matter who was like. I don't like. You can make infinite circumstances. We could say he's the breadwinner. He makes 200,000, but she makes 100,000. Is he still the leader? She makes 200,000. He makes 100,000. We could do infinite scenarios. It's going to be the same answer.
Yeah,
I think the duty of marriage is the answer all the time.
But that's what I'm saying. Some people choose not to fulfill their duty, or they don't choose to see the lack within their duty that they're not fulfilling.
The duty is to fulfill the duty. That's what I'm saying.
So you have to do certain things to fulfill your duty within the marriage, and if
the duty is till death do us part.
There's
that's
a lot more to it, though. It's not just till death do us part.
That's what I mean.
Rich or poor, right? So if you're in a situation of richer or poorer,
those are details. The duty is death do us part, and then the details
so
before that.
It's okay. You want to pick and choose which one.
No.
Fine.
All right, listen. All right, so if it says till death do us part, that's the duty. I can start creating vows. What about in a mansion, or what about in a tent? What about with white paper or yellow paper? What about with a big screen TV and a tablet, a little screen TV? The duty is death do us part. It doesn't matter about all the stuff that happens until you are parted by death. All of that is duty. Like on either side of good or bad, all of it is duty till death do us part. You disagree with that?
Yeah, I do.
We're married and you disagree with that? No, worried.
We were talking initially about duty, right?
Yeah.
So if a duty is supposed to be fulfilled within the marriage, according to you, the only one that matters is death do us part.
That's the only thing that matters in the vows.
For rich or poor, sickness, health, it's straight up life, death, that's it. But what I'm saying is...
Because, look, if you're rich before death or you're poor before death, that's what the vow is saying. For richer before death or for poor before death. And the last one is death do us part. So what death do us part is saying, they're just naming, it's being sarcastic in a little bit. Richer or poor, sickness, health, better, worse. They're saying it doesn't matter. What the duty is death do us part. Right? That's what the vows are. You can put anything before death do us part, and it's going to be this or that, this or that, this or that, this or that, until death do us part.
Okay, I see what you're saying. No,
you could put 1,000 things before death do us part, and it's going to be like, what a good car or bad car. Big house, little house. Lights on, lights off. Internet, no internet. You can put whatever you want before it until death do its part. Moving on. Moving on. All right. What is the next video I got?
And now tonight's star.
Let me tell you this.
But all these people who are like in charge of the...
Oh yeah, Andrew Tate is back.
And now tonight.
Let me tell you this.
But all these people who are like in charge...
All right, so Andrew, and this has a little context to it too. And I'm mad I can't hear the video again, but I don't need to. I'll watch this one. There's a little context to it. This was in the middle of one of his podcasts. He was saying basically that he doesn't think depression is a real thing. He thinks it's fake.
Okay,
That's interesting.
of the world. This is what people don't understand. I say this and they go, oh, why do the celebrities talk about depression then? Why do the people in charge talk about depression? Because they have good lives. I'll tell you why. Because it's a control mechanism. Everything I just told you all about slavery, everything I told you all about the people in charge, the elites trying to keep the slaves in line, depression is one of the tools they use. If they convince you that depression's real, you are too busy living inside of your own mind and being selfish to look around you and understand the real world. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Do you think that the people in charge of Earth are going to let someone become a Hollywood celebrity and have massive influence and let them say whatever they want? No, they're going to tell them, you're going to talk about depression, mental illness, and you're going to do it in a way pretending you care about it, but really you're going to promote it. You're going to convince every sad person out there that they cannot fix it and there's nothing they can do about it, so that they stay sad and stay depressed, because if they start to wake up and feel happy, they'll look around and realize that they're getting shafted. So let's keep them all sad enough to not do anything about it, but okay enough to still work the machines. It's a control mechanism. Depression is used by the elites to keep the poor people oppressed. It's another mind trick. You're all sad. It's okay. You can't help it. You're all sad. You can't help it. It's bullshit. You can't tell me I'm fucking sad, and you can't tell me I can't help it. I don't care if you're Angelina Jolie or what doctor, whoever the fuck you are. You cannot tell me I can't control my mind. Andrew, if you got depressed, you wouldn't be able to do anything about it. I reject that. I reject that absolutely. If I got depressed, I would fix it because I'm Andrew Tate. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, really, Angelina Jolie? Oh, shit. Well, I felt sad yesterday. Maybe I'm still sad now. Maybe I am depressed. And then you just become another cog in the machine. It's all a control mechanism. And the more people who buy into this, the worse.
That's funny because you do that.
That's true.
All right, so I feel like I've been ranting for too long. So let somebody else take this first. Randy.
First.
Yeah, ladies first.
Okay. I actually agree with Mr. Tate. And I do because when I think of depression, I was immediately thinking of grief. And from coming in a place in my life where I had to deal with grief pretty hard, I think although I still kind of reflect on it at times, like, was that to the extent of the time frame of how long I was grieving, was that necessary, or could that have even been cut down, to maybe even a day? And then I could have continued on my journey to be a productive citizen versus dwelling in grief. So when he says, it's strictly a mindset, I see that. But I think people do, it's life, right? We do take seconds of, hey, here are my few moments of grief, here's my few moments of depression, but to really snap out of it and to keep pushing forward is the ultimate strength, for sure. Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree. Like, depression, me give you guys some deep secrets. I struggle with that. But the reason why I struggle with that is because me as a person that's finding these pieces, I want to be complete. And I'm looking at the other side of the fence. I'm looking at the the world that I'm trying to get to. And I'm like, oh, I'm still here. And that does seep in. But also with that actually wills me too. And I think that depression in general has been more used as a
handicap.
Right.
Versus like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? Okay, you don't like your money that you're making? Like, we're in America. Fix it. You want to make some more money? Like, there's tons of ways to make more money legally. If that means you got to get 2 jobs. Like, I've never been paid $20 in my life, but I've earned $20 worth of pay because I was like, okay, you know what? I didn't have that college degree. I wasn't able to get that job. I wasn't able to get picked for this particular position. I didn't go and cry in a corner and, oh, they don't like me, this, that. Cool. This job pays $10.50. This one pays $11. Combine them together and work them both. Because my paycheck may say differently, but when I put it in my account says, oh, your gross deposits was $5,000 something. Oh, because if, like, you know, it's like a saying, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. You know, and I think that sometimes people get fixated on the actual instead of what it actually can be. You know what I mean? I got 2 glasses of water, but I want a full glass of water. Okay, well, what are you going to do? There's a few options here. Either you put 2 of these glasses together, or then go out there and turn on the faucet and fill them both up. Which one do you want to do? Which one can you do? So, like, with depression, like, see, athletes battle that, but they don't.
Battle what?
Yeah, because, like when I played basketball and stuff like that, I was never, like, the best person on the team. I wasn't the best shooter on the team. I knew that. I didn't allow that to really consume me all the way. That just still I used that as a will to still be, you know, push myself to just go. You know, Jordan and Kobe miss a lot of shots, but they still wouldn't be who they were today. Because, okay, you missed a shot, so what you going? You're not going to take it no more? Not going to take the shot no more? So you're not going to be who you are then. So he's absolutely right in so many ways where it's like depression is kind of made into like a, you know, do you battle with it? Yeah, because your reality is not what you want it to be. That's frustration to me than depression. But like I always say before, you know, the English language has so many different words that can contradict.
Yeah, that's interesting, the difference between frustration and depression. Because if you, like, I started thinking about it when you said it, and they're kind of similar.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, like elongated frustration can probably feel like depression. Like you're frustrated that you keep running into the same wall or something.
Yeah, you keep, you know, that's frustration. So frustration builds, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I thought this clip would be interesting because recently, well, I want to say that the science or medical institution has kind of changed what the public idea of depression is. Mm-hmm. And this is like because of a recent study. But so I think, you know, for the most part, or let me know if you disagree. I think for the most part, the public perceives depression as like a chemical imbalance in the brain.
Of what?
Serotonin. Well, if you would listen to the old science.
I understand that, but this is to go like a little bit of a step further. People coming up, you have to be frustrated or go through frustration, go through depression, go through hardships, go through things to become something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like Muhammad Ali, he didn't become the greatest overnight. He had to learn how to take a punch.
Right.
You gotta take a punch to give a punch. So once you learn how to take a punch and you can give more punches back, you can conquer that. Like this is the issue that I kind of have with today's world. Unfortunately, it's like because of the technology, people feel like that they shouldn't be going through any hardships at all. And I'm like, but that's not like life in a sense, like, because hardships and frustration moments or whatever, that you learn from that.
Yeah.
And then it makes you a better person overall.
Yeah.
So it's like, it seems like society, so many words, is trying to skip that. Like, how do you skip that? Whereas like you're not gonna come straight out of high school at 18 years old and you know everything. No possible way.
No, I don't think you can skip hardships.
But I think that's what they try to do with using these words. Like I'm 40. When I see a 20-year-old come on TV and they be talking about, oh my God, life's so hard, da 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 da, yada yada yada. It's like good.
Right.
You supposed to. Yeah, you supposed to be bumming it. You supposed to be collecting y'all money together as friends and
ramen noodle
in the
life.
Gas tank.
Yeah.
You supposed to be sharing your money to go get a Whopper and split it in half and split the fries. You know, you supposed to, work at a job and not get paid what you're supposed to.
Or work at a job for free. Or work towards something for free anyway.
Yeah,
not necessarily at a job.
Like, not to even taboo, like a great friend of my dad and a great friend of me. Like, I worked at this meat market and he wasn't paying me correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like, it bothered me. And my dad didn't even do nothing about it. And you know what? The self-lesson was like, what do you do about this, Chris? Next time, I make sure before I sign any paperwork, I see what I'm getting paid. So if there's a rebuttal, I'm going to say it right then and there. I'm not going to just sign up into something and just walk right into it and not know nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that like depression or frustration or any of those words like that, you know what I mean? Like that builds the character of a person. And that's what people are lacking now, is character. Because they want it now. Like these kids don't know nothing about dial-up. Remember, we had to get on and we had to wait.
Doesn't that kind of relate to like what we were talking about previously, though?
Yeah.
About like people getting together and like we're saying that like the men have to build themselves up. The women want it when they get it. They want it.
They want it right now.
They want it to be present. Let me read this article though. So it was saying it was basically about the misconception that depression is a chemical imbalance. So I think we can safely say this is after a recent group of researchers conducted. I'll just read it. I think we can safely say that after a vast amount of research conducted over several decades, there is no convincing evidence that depression is caused by serotonin abnormalities, particularly by low levels of or reduced activity of serotonin, said the review's lead author, Jonah Moncrief, I can't pronounce her name, a professor of psychiatry at UCL. She added, many people take antidepressants because they have been led to believe their depression has a biochemical cause, but this research suggests this belief is not grounded in evidence. So I guess what the backlash from this has been, and I think like media is trying to cover it up a little bit because on one end you have big pharma who wants to push antidepressants, right? That's big business for them, and so now there's kind of what the researchers are saying that scientists and doctors have always known this wasn't a chemical imbalance thing. But they would also say that the antidepressants that would try and deliver or level out your serotonin, it wasn't necessarily clear whether that helped or not either. So some think it might be a placebo effect, just the fact that they're saying they're giving you a medicine and it's going to help you. That's why it helps. And some are saying that maybe there's a chance that, you know, some kind of chemical imbalance is happening with you, but that wasn't necessarily your depression. But since that other thing was fixed, then maybe that depression was fixed. And some of them are saying antidepressants are bullshit. Like none of them work. We shouldn't be describing them to people for depression.
Because depression, in my opinion, because like in the nursing field, we have objective data and subjective data. So obviously objective data is basically we don't have to ask a question, we see it.
It's factual.
Yeah. Subjective data is what the patient claims of what it is. And then like what on the on the doctor's thing, I can't talk about doctoring stuff like that at all like that, but it's the opposite of what it's the opposite because the doctor is like makes it for what the person thinks it is. Like so it flips like two ways. So just from getting the information, subjective, objective. So it's like this is what the person is basing it off of. But see, there's no measurement. And that's the thing that they're missing, in my opinion. There's no measurement of depression because people deal with things differently. Like, this person could be depressed that their goldfish died, and then this person could be depressed because he broke up with his girlfriend for the 5th time.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, which one is more important than the other? You can't really
it's gonna feel it might feel the same to the same people, right?
Exactly.
Even though you'd be like, you know, fuck that goldfish. Or you might be like, fuck that girlfriend. Then you might have somebody whose grandmother died, and you know you can't. They're all gonna feel the same thing, and most people might be like, yeah, the grandmother's dying is most important, but the feeling is equal to everybody.
Because there's no scale, so it's hard to really determine.
All right, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's no scale to it, and that's where it makes this really kind of difficult to kind of pinpoint it with a pharmaceutical solution. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because it could probably work for some, most of the parent front, but it may not work for most. You know, because people deal with these differently. Like, some people can, like, for instance, lose weight. Some people could just actually eat right, and they'll drop like 10 pounds. And then people like me eat right and don't lose a pound. I have to physically go and run for 3 weeks to lose 2 pounds. Like you can put two people to lose 10 pounds and tell them to go run a mile, and it's like one person is gonna probably lose 5 pounds, the other person might lose 2.
All right.
But the goal is that they both lost, but it's not measured. And so with this, they're trying to measure something that's unmeasurable, in my opinion. Depression is unmeasurable. It just depends on how the individual copes with it, and because it's a subjective data.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because let's face it, when people are depressed, they can also self-medicate with whatever they want. Whether it's a drink, whether it's, you know, so even aside from just pharma and what they can prescribe, some people just prefer not to even deal with that. And
I'm like how most people, you know, when they're frustrated and things like that, it's a ton of things they do. People go have sex. I like to drive fast in a car. I'd like to do the first thing too. You know what I mean? I like to go pull up and eat some good food, conversate with some good people. You play the video game. You know, use some measures to kind of escape maybe a little bit of the reality of what I'm going through. Like, there's a ton of things that you can do.
There was somebody saying like the act of just existing, being a thinking thing in reality or whatever, just a being that has as much access to thought as we do, it in itself creates a state of miserableness, because just like the act of us doing what we have to do comes like first from scarcity. Like we got to eat, we got to stay warm, we got to stay alive, we got to not get eaten. So all those things in itself create despair. And like all you do in life is just get moments of happiness where maybe all of these things are taken care of, or maybe they're not taken care of, but you're just not thinking of, they're in the back of your head for just this moment. Like you were saying, you're playing video games, so all your problems are in the back of your head. You're happy when you're doing this. Turn off the Xbox, and now you see all these problems back in front of you, and you get back to
back to reality.
Back to reality, back to the grind. So there was one person who was saying depression is actually natural. It's the natural state of people. People expect that they're supposed to be happy most of the time, but really you're in a state of scarcity most of the time.
And when you think about that, it's absolutely true, not to cut you off, but when you think about it, look at the things that you have to do to survive. Survival. You don't make enough money, you won't survive. If you don't come up with survival tactics, you won't survive. It's a jungle. The world's a jungle. Some people aren't blessed. Some people aren't born to be a lion. Some people aren't born lions. So what? That means you die? I'm not a lion. You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta adapt.
Like in martial arts, they'll say certain things. They'll have those little riddles, where they'll, I'm the guy with strength that holds this blade, and I'm the guy with elegance that holds this blade. Who do you represent? And everybody will try to pick one of the guys to try to figure out who is the best person. But I'll give you guys a cheat sheet, because I see Jamal thinking like, which one is it? I'm the blade. I'm the tool. Because in either hand, I do damage. So I represent the blade. I'm not going to represent the man. I can't choose that. I'm the weapon.
That's cheating. That's a cheating answer. That riddle wasn't even fair.
A sensei will tell you that I'm the blade. And because we ain't even thinking about that. We're trying to figure out, elegance.
I was thinking Ninja Turtles, like, well.
Because elegance is strength, and strength is elegance. Which one is better? You know what I mean? Like, you think about just like the raw elements in life, you know what I mean? Ice versus fire. Which one actually win? They actually counter each other. But depending on the predicaments, they can alter each other, but they're designed to counter each other. But you can put a room full of people and ask them that question. You'll have 10 billion answers of, the ice is better because once it's at this level, it's going to do, it's fire. Because fire, if that ice touch it, it'll evaporate.
All right, then, Scorpion or Sub-Zero.
Oh my gosh.
See?
Sub-Zero. Scorpion is the better fighter. He has the best combos.
Just break that whole argument down, yeah.
And now,
let me tell you.
But all these
pocket watches. Do you want
All right,
to know
so
what
we got
I think of?
getting back to our girl Brittney Griner. She got found guilty this week. We talked about her last week, and we were talking about her possibly getting out with a prisoner trade. I think that's still up in the air. But this over since the last show, she's been found guilty. She got sentenced to 9.5 years in Russia. I felt like I knew that was coming because we talked about that too. How Russia plainly said they don't want to talk about anything till after the trial. So, and we were like, well, why would you want to have the trial just to trade her, right? They just want to kind of flex on it. So it's not necessarily a big shock that she got found guilty and sentenced. I think we saw that coming. But I think since then, people were, I guess, there's been a polarization around the subject about whether or not she deserves to do the time or not. I think we stand kind of like in no, since Russia's in the situation they're in with Ukraine, and we should get as many of the prisoners home as possible. But also, since we're not an echo chamber, I thought I would bring up a different opinion, and then we could, maybe go back and forth about that opinion. So this guy, his name is Pocket, or his channel's name is Pocket Watching with JT. Mm-hmm. So he's his name is Jason Thornton, and he's a certified financial planner.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Basically, I think he started in as a
like an
accountant. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's good with numbers.
Right. So he has a different opinion about it. So we'll let him get through that one.
About this whole Brittney Griner Russia situation. Here we go.
This is Pocket Watching with JT.
All right. Before I get started, I have to say that clearly Russia is overreacting. All right. They're overreacting.
I agree.
Now, what she pled guilty to is not a crime that I honestly believe that Russia would normally punish in this way. Okay. But we have to ask the question, how did we get here? Yeah, I know. I got it. Russia is using Brittney for leverage to get what they want from the U.S. I got that. But how did we get here? Let's just think about it logically for a second. We have Brittney Griner, who, let's be real, over 90% of the population had no idea who this person was or if she even existed before this whole Russia thing started. Now, Brittney Griner is an 8-time WNBA All-Star. She has not one, but I believe 2 Olympic medals.
Oh, wow.
But no one knew who she was. She is a woman that gets paid over $220,000 a year to play a game. All right? To play a
Basketball.
game. Now, that's good money to any average American. Mm-hmm. That's good money. The problem is you have people in this world who would want to compare her to an NBA All-Star. See, $220,000
he's
to play a game
going into the wrong direction now. Everything was good. Now he's doing a comparison. And see, the WNBA and the NBA, they're both basketball associations. Mm-hmm. So meaning that they should be protecting not only men athletes, the women as well. So I see where now he's trying to use a financial diversity between the two, from LeBron James versus Brittney Griner, but this is where I think this is going to be going in the wrong direction, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, what are they? They are a member of a basketball association. So meaning that there should not be, well, this one is better than this one. This should be the same.
Oh, shoot, and the Olympic Association too then, right? If she has gold or...
To be fair, I think what he was...
I think he's going there because
he was saying that people bring the comparison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
listening to him and I was like, wait, I was like, he about to drift left on
He
me,
might compare too, so you might be right. But I think just in that terms of that statement right there, I think he was saying people compare him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Money. But when you compare it to NBA All-Stars who make $40+ million a year to play a game, now all of a sudden it's not enough. Okay. Let's just think about this. The WNBA does not make any money. The WNBA has perpetually been a loser when it comes to the bottom line. There is no way that a WNBA player should ever compare their salary to an NBA All-Star. That's number one. So how did she get from the U.S. playing in the WNBA to Russia and being arrested and sentenced to a 9-year
Because that's how women
sentence.
have to make money to survive as a basketball player. This has been going on for over 20 plus years. This is not brand new.
I did have like a little bit of insight onto that salary take, if I could find it.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, okay, if she has a salary of $200,000 in the States, then again, what were you saying, Chris? Why would she need to go out to Russia to then add on more to the $200,000?
Because Russia's paying her $2 million a season.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
See,
all right, wait, hold on. So this from the LA Times. WNBA players are guaranteed only a 50-50 split of revenue if the league meets prescribed but undisclosed goals. The WNBA had an estimated $60 million in revenue in 2018, according to Forbes. The NBA, 50 years older, racked in $7.4 billion
I was gonna say.
that year, and boasted.
this is a very, very easy fix.
And boasted $10 billion in revenue. So you're talking about NBA $10 billion, WNBA $60 million. Like
And it's a very, very, very easy fix because it's $10 billion now because the NBA created they tampered and they started going into the televised games. So the NBA started charging for their games to be televised. That's why their games don't come on normal TV for free like they used to, like in NBC and ABC and all that other stuff like that. Basketball went into a different market when they were like, oh, we are gonna start charging them to televise our sport. That's why these guys now make way more money because it's TV money that they're getting.
I'm sure that has something to do with it. That on top of like merchandising and advertising. I'm pretty sure their TV deals are a substantial part.
Because that's why.
But wouldn't the opposing argument be that there isn't a demand for the WNBA to get those?
So
same
you gotta
kind of deals?
make it a demand. So how do you do that? You gotta think of marketing schemes. So like for me, okay, like cryptocurrency arena,
I hate
right?
that name too.
They host how many games? They host the Clippers, they host the Lakers, they host the Sparks
and the Kings.
Yeah,
we just talking about basketball.
So you have 3 teams there, right?
I'm talking about the hockey team.
Oh yeah, the Kings.
I don't know if you're talking about just basketball.
So basketball, you're hosting 3 professional basketball teams in one building. So on a Sunday game, you have the girls come on at 1. They play until 4:30ish. Then you have the basketball guys come on at 5, and you include it in the ticket, regardless of the people come or not. If people are going to start paying for something, even if they want to see it or not, what are they going to start doing? They're going to come. If I buy some Laker tickets and the Laker tickets were normally $50, but now they're $75. Well, what's this extra 25? Oh, because you can see the Sparks play before them. I'm coming because I'm not spending my money for nothing.
Yeah, Chris, but you gotta think about unfortunately, the people that are gonna say, hey, no, I don't want to see that. I need my $25 refund for that because I'm not gonna go see that game.
You don't do it. People are gonna do what you tell them to do. We don't want to pay $5 for gas.
That's a necessity, though. We're talking about entertainment. Like that's optional.
Like, let's be honest. Like, but people are gonna pay for it. Like, entertainment
you might end up driving down NBA ticket sales.
Hey,
both of them go down.
People are gonna come. Like,
what if the NBA ticket sales go down and WNBA ticket sales go down?
But they're still gonna win because you're still gonna make money.
Hey man, NBA,
they making $70 billion.
Yeah,
they making $10 billion.
That's because it's not promoted. But see, they're gonna have to do this because now this is branching out to a different.
We getting off subject, kind of. We was talking about Whether or not.
I'm gonna tie back into it.
All right.
Because now this is a bigger issue. You gotta have to start protecting your Americanized women athletes, because a grip of women go overseas to play, and now we have a athlete there that got the maximum sentence.
Yep.
So this is a bigger problem.
Right.
Now this needs to be not exercised, but this needs to be addressed now. Pay these. They gotta figure something out.
I mean, it's easy to say pay them, but you can't just.
I know you can't pay them if there's no money coming in, but you got to create a marketing scheme, because back in the '80s, the NBA was about to was going bankrupt. So Magic and Larry came in,
Yeah, this is true.
and now you got Candace and Brittney that are ballers.
True. I think the crust of the subject though is, does she? Well, the topic I put is, does she deserve to be in prison?
I feel like if she
I
committed a crime,
know the salary is part of the argument, but that's what he's boiling it down to. Well, I'll just let him finish.
Okay. I have an answer right yet. We'll let him finish.
She was able to find out that she could play the very same game where she's making $220,000 a year. She's going to double dip and play in Russia during the off season. Hey, listen, I'm a capitalist. I'm all for it. That makes a lot of sense. The WNBA season isn't super long, right? It doesn't take the whole year. She's making $220,000 to play a WNBA season. And during the offseason, she has enough time to play basketball in Russia. And guess what she makes? She makes $1 million a season in Russia. $1 million.
So she makes $750,000 more.
Scottie Pippen didn't make $1 million back in 1991 when he won his first championship with Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. He didn't make $1 million. She makes $1 million a season in Russia. She's been playing there for like 7 seasons. So what does she do? Just think about this. This is a level of entitlement that's ridiculous to me. In your home country, your sport is not very popular. You make a good amount of money, $220,000+, but it's not extremely popular. You play in Russia and make $1 million a season over there. And what do? You're careless enough to bring drugs to a country where you say you are aware that it's illegal.
I agree.
Now, let's be real. It's illegal here in the U.S. too, federally. Just because it's legal on the state level, it's still illegal.
And airport's federal.
All right. So let's not act as if, oh, it's all good over here. It's not exactly all good because it's federally illegal too. You tell me that I get an opportunity to make $1 million a season playing a game in a foreign country where here I make pennies on the dollar compared to that. And I'm careless enough to say,
oops,
I was packing in a hurry. I was in a rush. You were in a rush. You've been playing there for 7 seasons. You know the rules. You know the laws. They pay you $1 million a season. And entitlement will tell you, I'm going to be a little sloppy in packing my bags and put all of this in jeopardy. All of it can go away like that by being sloppy. All right. So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is you have to take personal responsibility for your actions, right? Brittney Griner, in the purest sense, is not 100% a victim in this situation. Her personal actions, the things that she chose to do, led her to this point.
I agree.
Anybody who ever got a job that they weren't expecting, a job that is paying them way more money than they ever dreamed, would make sure that everything's right. You would make sure that you are in line. But getting too comfortable,
I agree,
and not paying attention to the details will lead you to a situation where you can lose everything. Brittney Griner's sloppiness led her down the path of dropping the bag. That's my take. That's my pocket watcher rant. I could be wrong. Put it down there in the comments. But listen, if you ever get to a position where you have reached a goal that you've been looking for all your life, that is not the time.
I agree.
Sloppy.
Need more?
All right. So yeah, so that guy's pocket watching with JT. You can check out his YouTube channel if you search pocket watching with JT. Hopefully it's cool with us using that clip. I didn't ask him, but at least I'm giving him a shout out. If he wants me to take it down, I'll take it down. But thanks to him for his observation on that. So we'll go thoughts on the whole topic. Well, yeah, you haven't said anything about this yet, Randy. So what do you think about?
Well, I still think it's very unfortunate. And yeah, I mean, I agree on the aspect of, we need to be accountable. But I also heard a few other YouTube people actually yesterday that were thinking it in terms of, well, if the people have to choose between getting Brittney back and then giving Russia, who apparently this war criminal that we have here to do the switch off, people are saying that we need to be educated on actually the guy that we have here and if it's worth the trade.
No, so the guy's name is, I just had it pulled up. He's a bad guy though. You ever see that movie? I forget what it's called. Is it called God of War or something? It's Nicolas Cage. He's like a weapons dealer.
Oh yeah, I've seen it a while ago.
That movie's based on that dude.
Oh really?
Yeah. So that's who they're talking about trading, like a dude who he basically trades weapons in foreign situations to mercenaries or private companies or companies that want to keep, low profiles about what kind of stuff they have. Right. Not a good dude. Especially as far as Russia's involvement with the U.S. goes. It wouldn't be good for us to have him out there, right? In general.
Right, so that's what people
So
are
that
saying,
is a good question. Is that trade? Well, we're getting Paul Whelan too, and he's a person that's in Russia. He's been there since I think 2018, and he got accused of espionage. I don't know if that's true. They're not going to tell us whether it's true or not that he's a spy, right? He claims that he's not a spy, but who knows, right? So he's been there for that. So he's also involved in that trade. So it's Griner, Whelan for the Russian mercenary dude. I'm gonna look him up.
Just the one mercenary dude, though, or were we gonna give him like?
I think it's just the one dude. But I think the caveat is that I think he was serving 25 years, and he might have done something like 20 already. Like it's not it's not at the beginning or the middle. He's like closer to the end of his sentence. And so I think that was
so then, I don't know why I'm laughing because this is a horrible situation. But so then what happens after the 5 years then?
I think he's free either way. So I think what the trade is like, I don't quote me that it's 5 years, but he has time left, but he's closer to the end.
Right.
But yeah, I think either way he's gonna get out, whether it's 5 or 7. We might as well just say,
Yeah.
hey, give us our 2 people back and we'll give you this dude right now instead of in 5-7 years.
Man, you know what? I'm waiting for somebody in our government to really just step up and say, look, we don't negotiate. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
We ain't got nobody like that in the government right now.
We don't. And it's like, at what point can we say?
The president would be like,
put the lead Army guy up there. Where's our military defense? I need to see some. It's unfortunate.
Okay, so his name is Victor Bout. So if you want to know the Russian mercenary or weapons dealer guy that we're talking about, or that talking about trading for, his name is Victor. You probably have to say it like that because he got a K in it. It's not Victor like we spell it. It's Victor Bout. Hold on, let me see if I can bring up a picture of him. What? You know that's how they would say it, Victor.
And now tonight's star confessions. Jennifer
Coolidge.
Coolidge.
This off. Jeez. We went through all the. No, we didn't go through all the videos we got, but we went through most of them.
Yeah, I
Victor.
What do you think, Chris?
There you go, Victor.
The guy
Bout.
here. Okay. I feel like how I look at it, I'm like, when it says, I think with this before the trial, and it said she can get up to 10 years or whatever the case may be, and I understand that this was a mistake. I understand that there's rules and regulations. I do understand all of that, but the issue, or not even the issue, but just the way I look at it is that with all of that in play, it's like, so she has to get the max. You know, I felt like 2 years would have been, I think, reasonable for this. You know, because there was some things on their end that they dropped the ball on, like she wasn't read her rights. She wasn't offered a translator.
You gotta remember this is Russia though.
Yeah.
No, and I get
Like
it.
that, you can't like copy and paste American laws. They might not have that law in Russia.
No, you're right.
They might be like, we could arrest you and not say nothing.
It's just like, dang, she just had to get the max. Like y'all couldn't admit somewhere in the middle to be happy. You know, and that's like the stuff that kind of like bothers me.
Yeah.
You know, now I can see if she had like 10 of them joints or 20, then I could see that. But I'm like, where's about 2? It's like, really? And you got the max. First time defense. And then it's like, you know, you got the sledgehammer just thrown right at you. And that's the very reason why I don't like traveling in certain places already. You know, because their legalities and certain things that they do are just way different. You know, I throw a popsicle stick on the floor or accidentally miss throwing it in the basket, the trash, and then I'm subject to being locked up for 5 years because of littering. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have no time for that. I have no time for, and then I don't want to hear, oh, because you're American, we're gonna prove a point, hit you with the maximum charge or something. Like, you know, like,
I still think that's what it is, though.
No, I don't want to go into too much into it, but that's what I think too. You know, that's why I'm just like to come halfway. Okay, she already been there for 6 months. Like, hey, you know what? We could have gave you 10. We're gonna give you 2 years. You know what I mean? You do good. Maybe we'll let you out of here in a year with some probation, or or we'll taboo you from coming back here. Cause they could do that. Yeah. Taboo her from not coming back. Ultimately, she loses because, like the gentleman said, she's making $1 million plus a year.
All right, so I think in general, I would say she broke the laws. She should do the time. That's what I would say in general. I think this is a unique circumstance, right? Like, I never try to apply American things to the rest of the world. Because I know we live in the best country on earth. We're spoiled. We like we can sue for everything.
Yeah.
We can get arrested for breaking the law and then sue the government for arresting us and win and get millions of dollars. Like, so I think we come from that privileged mentality when thinking about laws in other places or even customs in other places. I do understand that things that we consider culturally okay here aren't necessarily like that in the rest of the world. It's not just like Russia either. Like we have a big discussion about the A word, the Roe versus Wade thing. So, even culturally, that's okay here. You take that to Ghana, you in jail just for doing the same thing that you did in LA. You go to Africa and Ghana, you in jail because they have like a no, what do you call it? Like no fault policy, I guess. Like you do it, you in jail. Everybody. So I understand people's customs. And usually I would say she should do whatever time she got, because it would be one thing if maybe this is her first time going. She didn't know, but like he said, she did. This is her 7th year going. She knows. She definitely knows. This is why I'm not doing that this time though, and I've said it before. Because Russia is in the war with Ukraine, and we are actively backing Ukraine as a country, and so now we're in a position where we have to show some strength and solidarity about what's going on in Russia. So since we're actively supporting a country they're at war with, we kind of got to flex a little bit, and especially when you have something that isn't taboo to us. And it's not saying I'm disrespecting countries' things. I just said that I respect them. But it'd be one thing if she went and slaughtered 6 people instead of taking a vape pen, right?
Yeah.
Like if it was something that was equal to us, so I have to make an exception due to war, which I think we're allowed to do.
Yeah.
That even though she broke the laws, and I think in most cases, I would say if a person breaks the law and wherever they went, they should have known. You should be researched. It's not always fair. I think if you're going to go to some place, especially for work, you should know where you're going and what you're getting into. But in this case, I think not even in the sake of fairness, in the sake of strength, that we should get her and at least a couple people out, but specifically her, since she's become so high profile. Like we would be weak if we didn't do it at this point, and that's why I'm veering off on what I would usually say to say we should get Brittney Griner out of Russian prison ASAP.
No, I agree.
Yeah, that's
and I just felt like I don't know the laws, but I figure or I'm assuming that when it comes to, because federal law, right? Like drugs prohibited, admissible to sell, right? Because that's usually how a lot of those laws end. Like even here, like it's not illegal to have marijuana, but if it's admissible to sell, that's illegal. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it's definitely like in a federal state, like we know there's no weapons allowed, right? But if I had a knife and they spotted it, I'm like, hey, you got this knife, you know what I mean? Hey, just throw it away. You know what I mean? They may make a big deal, they may not. Oh, toss it. I don't want it. But if you come in there with knives, like, hey, that's it's different. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, wait, why do you have all these knives? This doesn't look accidental. You know what I mean? Like I have a pocket knife on my key. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, you have just toss it. I totally forgot I had that. Oh, okay. Well, I said just toss it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to argue. I don't want it. I'm not going back. Just throw it away. This was a mistake. Now, if I have 8 pocket knives,
Right.
then okay, yeah, you might call me in the back room. Then you might create a scenario because you got to have a motive, right? When you're in court, what was the motive? So it's like y'all really stretched these 2 vape pens to the motive of admissible to sell. That this was considered smuggling, right?
I think you might be conflating American laws with Russian laws. I think you cannot have that substance in Russia at all. Like, you can't have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's a taboo like that, then shame on her. It's still shame on her, but if it's a taboo like that where it's like that's something that's just like forbidden, like you ain't supposed to have it, then I say that, that okay.
She should have double checked her bag.
Even let's go a step further. Don't even have it.
Yeah.
So that's usually kind of like that. Now I am in agreement.
That's kind of true. I think she had it for therapeutic use, physical stuff. But if you are a person who spends such and such amount of time in Russia every year, probably should be like, nah, I'm not going. I don't even want it around the bag that I'm taking to Russia.
Well, see,
right?
that's
You might want a Russia bag. Like, this is my Russia bag. Nothing goes into my Russia bag that's not supposed to go to Russia.
That's kind of like the problem that I have with some people about certain things. That, like, you don't have to have any of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, learn how to turn a switch off and on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't take any gambles at all. Like, I don't even travel that much. But, like, the few times that I've been to Texas, few times I've been to certain places, it's like, you know what? I don't even want to be questioned. I don't want to be stopped. I don't even want to be under your radar. I don't even want you to even waste my time on bothering me about anything. So it's like when I go through TSA, it's like, boom. I know the rules, the routine. I take my shoes off. I don't even come with a belt. I got other stuff that I can wear without a belt. You know what I mean? So.
But wait, do you still carry your pocket knife?
No.
So
the one pocket knife that I had, by accident, they spotted it. Like, oh, you got a pocket knife, and I said, I'll just toss it. My bad. And I think I had mouthwash, and the bottle was too big. Oh, but this is too big. I said, just throw it away. Like, I don't already throw it away. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, no rebuttal, no fighting, no. You say I can't have it, toss it.
My understanding is you could have a pocket knife, but it has to be the size of your palm. And if it's anything bigger than the size of your palm, then you're in trouble.
I think illegal out here is 3 inches.
But see, I'm gonna go
the blade anyway, not the whole thing, but the blade.
Yeah.
If the blade's over 3 inches, I don't know if they'll be like, this is 3.5 and get you, but that's the standard.
I'm gonna go a step further. Don't even bring it.
All right.
On an airplane, I don't think you can take. Since 9/11, I don't think you can take any.
Yeah, so that's
we just recently found out you can take lighters, and I was surprised about that.
So this is.
I think the last time we traveled to Alabama, I was giving my lighter to somebody that worked at the airport, and she was like, "You can take that." And I was like, "What?" I just gave it to her anyway because I already offered it.
Because you gotta like in this case, like this was like the format that I came up with when I was in nursing school, like. If I allow the DON of the school and the people that work at the school to dictate if I'm going to graduate or not, I failed. So I'm not going to give them no ammunition.
Right.
I'm going to show up. I'm going to do my work. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to lay low. I'm going to be under the radar. So then it's like on that last day when I'm walking out the door, they're like, wait, who's that? Like, oh, hey, I'm gone. Thank you guys. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna give them no. I'm gone.
Yeah.
So like, hey, Jamal is right though. When it comes to like Americanized things, we do kind of have that gray area of like, it's not that big of a deal. Like Bakersfield. Like my mom got arrested in Bakersfield. Off of a ticket, and. It was like when I drove her up there, and I'm like, she called me. She's like, "Oh, hey, mommy's going to jail. Bye." And I'm like, "Wait, huh? What the heck is this?" Like, so I run in there, like, well, what the heck is going on? And so then, oh yeah, your mom, she has a ticket for, this ticket it's got up to $1,200 and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I go and get my credit card. I just flick at them. Here, pay so she go. Oh, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? And it's like, and then that's when I kind of learned tickets out here. People got tickets all day long. They ain't getting arrested. But out there, simple tickets, if you don't pay them, you're going to jail. And when I was up there for
he said Bakersfield. I need to
when
write
I was
that
up there
down.
for 20 hours waiting for my mom to come out.
Get out of here, Chris.
20 hours. You know what I'm saying? I was like, there was people like on the phone, like, yeah, what's up? Yeah, hey, so I'm gonna be out on Monday. Yeah, I got this ticket, man. I'm about to just go on to jail this weekend. Yeah. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Huh? People just walking in and turning themselves in for like $50, $60 tickets. I'm like, what in the heck?
So instead of paying a ticket, they'll go do the 2 days or whatever.
Yeah, but see out here, because I was a smart aleck one time when I went to court for a ticket. It was like $200. I'm like, yeah, just send me to jail. And the judge was just like,
bet.
And then she looked at my rap sheet. She's like, sir, just pay the fine. You've never been to jail, and I'm not sending you. And I was so mad. Like, I really want to go to jail. I don't want to pay this. And she's like, no, sir, just pay it. So there are some parts where it's like they do emphasize certain things. Sorry, mom, put your business out there.
We've all got a ticket.
You didn't say she didn't. She had a ticket and went to jail in Bakersfield.
Yeah,
From what I hear, it sounds like that's what they do in Bakersfield.
It was for her property. Like, her property got a ticket. We had a house out there. So her property got a ticket.
All right, so you didn't have to expand on it after that either.
My mom is innocent, Yeah, but it was so stupid because it was like when they told me how much it was like, okay, let's pay it now, let's go. And then they're like, oh, it's a little technical to that. And then it was like, okay, well, she needs to be bailed out. It's like I had her bailed in 20 minutes. It's like, okay, boom. Like, what is it? $100 here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, stop messing
And then I'm like, why am I still here?
Right.
20 hours later.
Damn, Chris.
Yeah, but to wrap that up, I think all of us agree. Well, I'll speak for myself. I agree with everything Pocket Watching what JT said, but I've always felt like this is a different kind of situation because of what's going on in Russia. And that's why I can like find reason to say throw her a get out of jail free card in this instant.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. And I just felt like if it's not a get out of jail free card and as an option, I feel like this sometimes should be, a year, 2 years, because you did violate a crime. You did commit a crime.
Yeah, but I agree. Look,
I just feel like it should be the max, though. It's like, damn, why is it the max, though?
If Russia wasn't at war with this specific country right now, say they were at war with China, and we were like, we don't have anything to do with that, and the same exact thing happened, I would say she has to do it every time they gave her. But since Russia is at war with an ally of our country, we can't be showing weakness. I don't like patriotic weakness. I like patriotic strength. So this is she's lucky that this happened now because this is a time where we have to be like, no, you're not locking our people up for vape cartridges. This is the time that where we have to say stuff like that.
No, I agree.
And there's no argument. I don't even know what they debating about. I would already maybe that's why I'm not president. I would have made a threat already.
It's at the end of the day, it's just very unfortunate. Unfortunate for her family. Unfortunate for. I
would have sent them like a text with like a picture of a finger on a red button. I wouldn't have did no negotiating. I just would have sent them that text.
It goes into like an unfortunate
like send Brittney back.
But I really feel like that the WNBA really needs to do something about this because, as you can see, that it's pennies on a dollar, like the guy did specify. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
I think that's a rougher thing.
But but expand the season.
Like you say, it might be done over 5-10 years.
Yeah,
but I think it's
this won't happen overnight. But I feel like in a 5-10 year span, I would say more 5. I'm pushing 5.
Yeah, because I'm sure is going to bring about some kind of change. We'll see.
And I
don't disagree with you. I definitely think the WNBA can improve, and they're losing money. I think. I don't think women's basketball is losing.
This is kind of, and I don't want to go.
Maybe it is though. Maybe Americans don't care about women's sport like that.
And I don't want to go into that direction. But this is why the loss of Kobe Bryant, in my opinion, very, very damaging, because this Kobe at the stature that he was in was pushing for that particular brand to become better. You know what I mean? And a huge loss for him and his family, unfortunately. And then and look at this, because
he was actively raising the WNBA star.
And Kobe was at a great stature.
I do think people would have tuned in to see Kobe Bryant's daughter play. I think that would have been a boost for them.
Just imagine if Kobe was still alive and Kobe came on and said something. You know what I mean? This is huge.
Right.
Like, this is gonna force people to make some type of, because Kobe gonna call out some names. He's gonna call out some owner names. He's gonna call out some GMs. He's gonna call out some commissioners. Like, hey, so what we doing? I'm about to fly out there right now, so y'all coming with me. So what's up? I can speak the language, let's go.
I don't think he would have flew out there, but I think he would have made a difference.
Kobe ain't getting locked up. He wouldn't have got locked up. Kobe flew out there.
All right, we're going to do this one more thing.
And now tonight's star.
Let me tell you this.
But all these people.
Hey, Pocket Watchers.
One more time. All right, so we're going to play If You Laugh, You Lose, right? All right, so this will let you know if everybody's tired of doing this show. So if you laugh, you out of the game. If everybody laughs, we cutting off the show. Right? As soon as I play it, Randy gonna be like,
I was gonna pick up my phone and distract myself. Okay,
nah, you gotta pay attention.
All
right. So we just go play videos.
All right.
All right. Hold on.
I think Jamal's gonna crack first.
Okay.
I'm not good at this. All right, ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Chris.
Go, April. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
There you go. I knew that was gonna happen. Go.
Oh!
Do a trick. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about this.
I'm waiting for this.
No, let it. What was that? What's up? Establish dominance. Just turn it to back off. I got you.
It should be shaking. Go, 3, 2.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm coming.
Oh.
hospital bill.
Chris.
Oh my God, I cannot.
Pick your feet up.
Oh my God. Just knew that one.
He's got it.
Damn. What's the warranty on them things?
Make sure you keep your eye on the ball. It's just like, in that regard, it's just like.
Oh. So is there any way to like crash? Just like that.
Knock it. Oh!
Go, come on. You don't have long.
She about to screw this up.
Oh, here goes a big wave.
Why didn't you get a full animation? Bam.
That didn't feel good.
Oh!
This stupid dog.
And they both failed.
Injury timeout.
Is that why you just tried to punch Lauren?
You don't feel that.
If your head can fit in,
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh! Stand on her hands. Come on, grandma.
What's she trying to do?
Oh! Ready.
Oh, damn.
Hold on. That'll help.
I wouldn't even want to get in the water. That's messed up. I wouldn't do nothing else rest of the week.
I don't know why the rope swing. It wasn't funny to me. Always stupid.
That's lucky.
Whoa!
Like, seriously?
Jack!
Carol got way behind.
Oh, Carol!
I need to tell you something. Come here. Come this close. All right, listen.
revenge for the
Let's
whole
go. That's such a dad move.
Are you okay?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
that's looking.
Oh my
That's a bad idea already. Just looking at it.
My
They deserve
God,
that.
Corey.
You're gonna water flowers? Water the tree.
Got you. You hear the evil laugh?
Oh my God.
All right, I think we'll end it there. You know what? I would like to end the show with those every week. But if you if you watch us, send us funnier ones, cause I can't watch them, right? Cause then it wouldn't be funny when I seen them. So you everybody watching, send us the ones that you think are funny, and then we'll play those. Cause I don't think that one was too funny. It's certain things in there, but it was a lot of dry stuff.
It was safe. Nobody got hurt. Like it was, but no, they're entertaining though. They were good. They were good picks. Like it wasn't over the top.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
I think it's a cool way to calm down our heated discussions.
Swing is
this show get a little heavy on topic, talking about Russian prisoners and whatnot. So,
and Peppers hung out with us the whole show.
Yeah, surprise.
She was next to me. I was like, oh, we're
She was next to you for a
like
while,
friends
dude.
for a while, and then she's like, all right, let me. You were in the kitchen. It's like,
as soon as we start talking about giving Pepper the spotlight, she showed up and laid in here. She knows what's going on. Tell y'all, Pepper's a smart kitten. We like, you want to be a star, Pepper? She like, bet. I'm gonna lay on the couch during the show. She know that's all she has to do. Watch this. Watch this.
You ready?
Now, how did you hear that?
Look, see? In her sleep. All right, y'all, we go get out of here.
This shows the greed.
Look, woke up for the snack.
Okay.
That's chicken.
What you got there? What flavor?
Yeah,
are
you want to
those?
hold them?
Oh yeah, show me the bag.
How did I get this over? Take it in the corner and hide, and I can really get to it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we definitely have to be mindful. If we have anything on the counters. Yeah.
My homeboy Briscoe used to call cats kitty cats. Like, kitty cats. I'm like, wait, why you call them that? Like, so they're called kitty cats. Like, you just can't say cat. Nah, kitty cats. I'm like, all right.
Shout out to my
And Briscoe's like
girlfriend, I call her
6'5". Like, yeah, kitty cat.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend named Kathleen. I call her Kitty Cat.
All right. I'm Jamal Williams.
And I am Christopher Barris.
And that's Randy K.
Hey.
And we are America's Mind.
Bye.
We'll see y'all next week.
That's what I do. I'm a cat. I do kitty cat stuff and sleep and then more kitty cat stuff.